Jim Kime and Hal Widston, when they came to the station, it had been the NBC MOR station in Portland for years, and it was an also-ran. They had the idea. They said, we need to start playing contemporary music. And it was a long process. They flipped to contemporary music in '69. And they still had NBC, and they were still running they weren't running a monitor, but they were still running the, World Series and NBC stuff in the early 70s, 71, 72. So it was a long period. We had a farm show for years that had been on the station before, and because it was part of the license commitment that there would be so much agricultural,
like the whole PSA thing too, yeah.
That it continued into the 70s, and once a week, the old farm editor would come in, and he would do he would do shows for 5 days, and he'd read press releases and stuff, and he'd sit down and he'd do like 30 or 40 seconds, and he'd say, "Well, I'm going to warm up the coffee, and we'll be right back." And that wound up on the overnight show. That was part of the 4 a.m. hour in the overnight show for years.
Anything that I've left out to ask that comes to mind you want to talk about those times, those days, that station?
Not really. I'm Portland born and bred, but I spent 30 years in Seattle too. So, and now I'm back. So I was really, really proud to be part of the early history of KGW as a contemporary radio station because of the fact that I was born here and knew what KGW radio had meant to the Northwest. It was a real honor. Every time I hit those big glass doors at 1501, I just got stoked. As part of my part-time work, I used to on overnight shifts. I used to go out to the transmitter on the weekend on the maintenance shifts, and just kind of stand around, be a safety guy for old Art, who was the transmitter engineer. And so, spending time in those buildings, all those memories and all those ghosts, thinking of all those broadcasts, all the World War II broadcasts, and all of the, Fibber McGee and Molly and all of those things. And being a part of that unbroken heritage meant so much to me. KGW was, and then reinvented itself to become the most significant radio station in Portland, the one that people listened to, the one that advertisers needed to be on. And it was just an honor to be a part of it.